Hello everybody, this is Sandra, and today I'm in the kitchen again. So today I'm making farmer soup, okay? It's from the Amish handbook. Let me get my book together. I don't know why I don't always have this together. But anyway, the Amish canning cookbook, okay? On page 186. And this is the recipe I'm going by, okay? I chose this because it's simple. And the meals that we're trying to prepare are quick grab and go meals, okay? So, I'm going to turn you around because, I'm not that great with this camera in case y'all hadn't noticed. I'm not that great with the camera. Anyway, let me turn it around. Okay, like I said, from the, it's called the Farmer Soup. And it says 2 pounds of hamburger, onion, celery, potatoes, carrots, salt and pepper, tomato sauce, and water or beef broth. So what I have is, I didn't have hamburger. What I do was frozen, but I'm using ground turkey. Now the recipe says to ground the turkey with the onions, which I did. But my bell peppers were also frozen, so I just threw that in there too. Because they're all going to be in the same pot together. Anyway. And then in this pot, I have my beef broth. You can choose to use beef broth or water, according to the directions. But I have basically everything else in the ingredients is in here other than potatoes and the carrots. Okay? So really, the recipe tells you to put everything in the pot together, and then just spoon it out into your jars. And okay, have y'all met me? I cannot stand for my meat not to be distributed equally. My meat and the potatoes and the carrots, I just can't stand it. So I'm keeping everything separate, and I'm gonna put my meat in first. Now normally I try to measure 5 ounces of meat per jar. It's kind of hard to do it when you brown, when you put onions or celery or anything mixed with it. You can't accurately measure your meat when it's like this. So I'm just going to have to eyeball it. But when I come back, you're going to see all these ingredients in pint-sized jars, okay? The recipe says it's really it says to make about 7 quarts, but, where is it? Right there. It says makes about 7 quarts. I want to make mine in pints. It does give you the time frame for the pints as well. Let me see. It says quarts for 75 minutes and pints for 60 minutes at 10 psi. Okay, which is, the pressure that I need for where I live, okay? Because this is going to be pressure canning. So anyway, but I'm putting mine in pint-sized jars because the goal is, like I said, to just grab and go. Anyway, be back in a minute once I get my jars all canned up. And I do have my pressure canner already on the stove, heating up. It has the water in it. And let me say something else too about these doggone pressure canners, okay? I love mine, okay, but I watch other people quite frequently, see what they're doing. When it comes to the measurements of the water that you put in your canner, go by the directions that goes with your canner, okay? I've seen people say they put 3 inches of water in a Presto. Now, I don't know what type of Presto they're using, but my Presto says 3 quarts of water. From my understanding, the All-American tells you to put in 3 inches of water, okay? So the inches and the quarts, they may or may not be the same, okay? It depends on how wide your base is and all this stuff, okay? So if you have a Presto like I do, I'm pretty sure it's 3 quarts because that's what mine says. So put 3 quarts in there, not 3 inches. Okay, now I'm off that soapbox. So I think people watch other people do this type of stuff, and instead of them reading the directions, because I'm kind of a stickler for directions, you need to learn the correct way, and then you can make your shortcuts, okay? But certain things you cannot shortcut on, and that's one of those things you cannot shortcut on, okay? So don't just watch somebody else on YouTube or wherever and go by what they're saying. You go by what the directions tell you to do, okay? And me, as well as anybody else on YouTube that are doing canning, okay, we're just letting y'all go along the process. We're trying to motivate you to do the same thing because it's healthier food for your body and your family. As well as it's a more economical way of having food stored. But it's only good if you follow the directions, okay? So anytime I'm not following the directions, I tell you guys, okay, this is what Sandra doing. But I try to follow directions all the time, okay? Like, for instance, today, the potatoes that I have, they still have the peels on them, okay? I did not peel my potatoes, okay? We all know that most of the nutrients are in the skin of the potatoes. So, the recipe tells you to peel them. I don't peel mine. But what I do is, if you choose to do the same thing, make sure you scrub them really well, get them clean, okay? Nothing that's grown in a garden or in a lab, anything that's not in, didn't come out of your refrigerator, you most definitely need to wash it, okay? So, and also I cut mine up in cubes. I like to keep my potatoes kind of whole like that, even though they're cut in cubes. I place them in there. Okay, y'all know I'm OCD. Anyway, I place them in there like that, so I know how many potatoes I'm putting in each jar, because I want to get them as evenly as possible. Okay, y'all know I got issues. Anyway, yeah, so that's why I do that. You don't have to do that. This just Sandra and her craziness, okay? But like I said, I'll be back in a second when I have all the jars canned. Okay, it's been, 75 minutes. I'm doing several things, y'all. So, I think I call this farmer stew. Wait, anyway, it's farmer soup, okay? This is farmer soup. If I said it correctly, I do apologize. But, it looks good. Fresh out the canner. See the bubbles? See the bubbles? See the bubbles? Okay. And as usual, I'm going to let them sit out for 24 hours. All my jars have already sealed. They sealed in the canner. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. And like I told you guys, I quite often I get siphoning. It was just a tad. Let me show you. See how clear my water is? It's a little bit of something in it. A little bit of, few little oil spots. But I am very happy with this, okay? And I had to get used to that. That siphon is just something that you're going to have. Especially when you pressure canning, okay? Like I said, nobody told me that that was normal. But after watching a few people on YouTube and doing some reading myself, because the book doesn't tell you that's normal. But some siphoning is normal, okay? If you think about it, it makes sense. Because the pressure canner is pushing air out the jars. Obviously, something else will come out with it, okay? Anyway, y'all, so this is another 12 jars that we can add to our pantry, okay? We like having something that you can just grab and eat. This is wonderful, and it tastes good. So until next time, peace out.